is Yonu. I go by Jacob here in America. I've been a student in Iboyang's Tokinklub for about 6 years or so, maybe a little less. But I've been there since I was first grade. Right now, I'm in high school third grade. While I was there, Kevin was my teacher. He's great. Mainly was there to learn English, obviously, obviously. But my experience there was great. I learned a lot of things, and I feel like it was really effective here. Like being in America. Sorry. Staying in America was at first a little bit confusing because it was more of a cultural rather than English. I actually had no problem understanding English as far as the conversation went. Um, Other than that, it was really easy. Just the class was a little bit maybe complicated, but general everyday conversation and um, interaction between people was very easy. Um, for first few years I've been at school was a little bit hard in a way that it was more of a academic confusion, not necessarily a language issue, but I feel that I was more confused with the materials, with the school itself, and how it went, just how it related with other materials and what I'm supposed to do. Pretty much, that was that was the hardest part, and I would have to go talk to teachers every now and then, but that part was pretty easy actually. So for the first few years, I didn't really have any problem, and it got better as I went on for a few years. So right now I'm in high school, and right now I have really good grades. I think. I don't want to really about myself or anything, but I do have 4.0 out of 4.0, so that's great. And I already applied to a few colleges. I got $20,000 scholarship at Mercer University in Georgia. Well, that's where I am. I live in Georgia right now, so that's a private institution, and I got $20,000, which is the maximum they could offer without adding on any other like engineering or special type of scholarship, which comes on top of that. So still, it's pretty great. Um, Other than that, I'm still applying for other schools. I'm applying for other schools like applied to MIT. I applied to Cornell yesterday actually. Um, I already applied to Georgia Tech, and I mean, as you can guess, I'm interested in engineering, so that's been a pretty great experience for me. And one thing good about going going here, like going to school here, and having learned English in Korea is that learning in Korea kind of gives you extra than what you need. So you definitely learn more than what you need. And coming here, conversation English is way different than what you actually write and what you like present yourself to scholars, pretty much. So in that sense, it was a little bit easier. So for example, if I'm talking with someone, they wouldn't really care too much about how I talk. In that sense, it was pretty great. Um, Doing that actually kind of teaches you more because you're in a conversation with somebody. So as you talk with somebody, you notice little things here and there, which doesn't happen very often, but it accumulates over time. So in that sense, it was great. Um, so I think uh, even Talking Club, just my experience was pretty great because a lot of things there were very interactive with students, and especially I had Kevin, and I really appreciate Kevin because he's a good teacher. Um, Also, just a lot of things in general. Like it's more complex, a little bit in depth. Sometimes it might be a little bit rigorous, but I feel that the curriculum is somewhat very well set. Well set. I don't really have a good word for it, but I really enjoyed the material personally, and a lot of things that were a little bit awkward to do at first, kind of gets you get used to it. So a lot of the materials were okay to deal with rather. So back to the idea of me being here in America. I think it's It's been a great addition to learn English in Korea. And I mean, obviously, if I didn't learn English, I wouldn't be here anyways. But in a way that I got to experience new things, and the fact that I was able to understand pretty well set me off on a good start, I think. And that allowed me to be, doing pretty good in school. And a lot of things that I get from talking to people is something that I can always add on to, and what I can always relate to, pretty much. Yeah, that's about it. I really appreciate my time there, and when I think back, sometimes it's fun. It's fun. Um, you sometimes kind of spend a lot of time, in class, I guess. But overall, I think it's a really good addition. Um, it's really effective, and yeah, yeah.